Hey Ranger Nation, welcome back to another video, and it has been a long time. It's been months since I wrote Power Rangers issue 9 review, so I hope I can remember most of this. But I wanted to kind of talk about it. I want to get back into reviewing comics so we can have them all along. I know that this is Power Rangers. We've got Mighty Morphing at some point. That's going to be a while. But I wanted to at least go through Power Rangers, and obviously I know. But if you like comic books and you want to see and hear more, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and check out the merch. Guaranteed, leave a comment as well, helps the channel grow. And hopefully we'll get back into reviewing this as a regular thing. But with some things coming up at the moment, I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but we'll try and get as much as we can out. And obviously it won't take months like the comic books. Can take a few years. This is episode 9. I'm pretty much going to read from my notes. Hopefully it kind of comes back and like tells me more. So basically this is kind of from the last issue. This is a cool one, like a cooldown. We get many cooldown episodes, issues and stuff like that after high-end action, so you're not constantly having that action all the time. So I really like Trini in this, and I love the art style as it seems like they keep it up. Like, it's consistent, it's not going to change, it's not going to be something that I wouldn't like in the end. So I generally like the art style. I think the Boom Comics art style is fantastic. I would love to see more of, like, say, an animated route done by Boom Studios if they did this, but I really like the comic books. I think it's quite unique, I think it's different, and I am really enjoying it. So the way that Draken keeps Trini on her toes is very interesting. He knows that he could tell them to use their powers a bit more, and he does. He says you could do more with your powers, and I feel like that's the way that he's saying, like, hey, I use my powers like this, you can use yours the same or even worse to whatever you want to create. And that made me go, that was interesting, because Draken is the type of person to try and get into the heads of these people, and I think he wants to try and corrupt Trini more than anything, because he knows that if he does that, then he knows that he's won, that he can get to Trini a lot more than the others, and that he's broken possibly one of the greatest links in this. So I feel, in general, if he can get to Trini and manipulate her or kind of turn her evil, then he knows that he's won, and he's going to break the team apart, which again is a good thing and a bad thing. It kind of adds a bit more mystery to this. In this issue, if I remember where it's coming from, we find out that Zach is helping the Heartsmen or the Heartians, whatever they're called, and everybody hates them, mainly because they've come from another world to kind of populate and to get rid of people. So it's basically like they're parasites, where they will instantly come to another planet, eradicate them, get rid of them, and basically take it for their own. Because Zach, I think, didn't know this, or any of the others didn't know, he wants to try and help them quite a lot, but he's kind of stuck. But you know, everybody hates him, everybody hates them being on this planet, and they don't know what's just gone on. And I feel like if they knew a bit more, then they would be okay with it. But at the moment, they just know, hey, you come to this planet, you eradicate it, you destroy it, so we don't want this. I think the fact that he's stuck up for them makes it a bit more special, rather than giving in and saying, hey, I want you to turn around and like mess this up, or, you know, I'm not going to help you, etc, etc. He wants to help them, and I feel like this is his main, like, he cares a lot, which I generally really like. I like Zach in these comics because he's really a decent guy, and the fact is that he wants to make sure that he can help anyone. One thing I found really interesting in this was seeing Trini connect with the Yellow Emissary, you know, using her power, getting through to that connection to speak and say, hey, I'm not just letting this go, I'm really forcing my way to say, hey, I want to connect so we can find more information. And having this and the Yellow Emissary not wanting to connect and saying no message, and not wanting to know what's happening or have any information whatsoever. Hope I didn't just repeat myself. But seeing this and saying, like, I know what's coming along, like, you bring death, we've seen it with the others, and I don't want that, please stop contacting me. I found that interesting because I thought the emissary would just kind of disappear or be like, come on then, let's talk about this, but you have to stay far away from me as possible. I feel like that would be interesting. And then, due to the fact that it's been following them to see what's been going on, again, was actually quite decent. I'm looking down at my notes. I think this makes me want to read on and see what goes on, and I have done. I have read up to a certain point. So my final thoughts, or my afterwards, is basically I like this issue. It felt different, and I like the whole Zack storyline and the Yellow Emissary. I really like these parts to it. One thing I really didn't like is the cat being in there and you seeing the backstory. I think maybe you didn't need to see this, but again, I know some people would want to because they like the character. To me, I just didn't care. I think what made this was the last issue, from what I remember, Zack wants to help the Heartsman or Heartsuren, whatever they are, because he saw what happened to the Queen and he saw what happened to the King. And I feel like this really does kind of connect a little bit more than normal. So I was really happy with this. The comic books, I think, are going in a really good way. I've stopped reading for a while, but I'm still collecting. And I will kind of follow up and go over when I have time. And things have settled down because I know things are going to be a bit weird when it comes to the channel for a little bit. But yeah, I kind of really want to talk about this, give my thoughts on issue 9. What do you think? Do you think this issue is pretty good? Do you like the comic book so far? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this sort of content and you want to hear and see more, hit that like button, hit subscribe. Tell me what you think about the comics. I completely forgot the line. And with that, if I don't see you tomorrow, then I will see you in a couple of days.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。